Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review of the Title Boxeo Pro Fight gloves. So check it out. Hey guys, Carlo here. Today I'm doing a review on the Title Boxeo Pro Fight gloves. I got mine in the red, white, and gold colorway, 10 ounces. It is a lace-up only model because it is a pro fight glove. You can also get this in 8 ounces with one additional colorway in black. It's made of full genuine leather throughout the entire glove, so no synthetic here, with a polyester satin liner on the inside of the hand compartment, and utilizes a combination of 5 layers of foam as well as horsehair over the knuckles for a very soft, broken in feel. So for those of you that are wondering, this is definitely more of a puncher style glove. And when we use that term puncher's glove, that's essentially just a glove that is very soft, typically like a horsehair glove or a layered foam glove that is open cell type of foam that is very soft. So if you were to get that piece of foam and squeeze it in your fingers, it takes little to no resistance to squeeze that foam. Where you have denser foams that are closed cell, EVA type foams, some latexes where if you kind of push down on the foam, it's much more harder to compress that foam. In this case, the foam in this glove is definitely much softer, and then the combination of horsehair just gives it a very soft, broken in feel. And typically you see this with a lot of the Mexican style fight gloves. That's what they really prefer, and the whole thought process idea behind it is that you can inflict more damage with this type of glove. The drawback is that you have less protection in terms of shock absorption and as well as just structurally for your hand. So if you're a fighter that has had a history of hand injuries with your knuckles, you have brittle hands, your bones, ligaments, you've had injuries in the past, gloves like this, although that you can typically inflict more damage, at least that's the idea behind it, you're also kind of risking yourself when you're landing shots as well. So that's kind of like the pros and cons with this type of glove. Now, from a design standpoint, it's a pretty basic Title boxing glove, you know, in terms of the Title boxing lineup and design. You do have that white Title logo on here, nothing crazy. You also have the triangle Title logo on the thumb. And what's really cool is you also have the Mexican coat of arms right here. Now, you just have the coat of arms. You don't actually have the flag or the white, red, and green colorway, but you do have the coat of arms on the back of that flat wrist support, which I think looks really cool. I think it adds a nice, almost like a custom, unique element to the glove with having that coat of arms on there. So I definitely like that. One thing to note, these gloves are not made in Mexico. These gloves are manufactured in Pakistan, but the theme behind this glove is the Boxeo. So it's a Mexican style glove. And just, it's kind of like the same thing they do with their other gloves that, you know, they're not made in Mexico, but they basically are kind of like a rendition of that, like the Pro-Mex gloves. The Pro-Mex gloves aren't made in Mexico, they're made in Pakistan. But it's basically Title's version of a Reyes glove. So this is essentially, again, basically what they're saying is their Mexican rendition of a fight glove. So you do have that coat of arms on that leather white wrist support on the back. The leather on here has kind of a satin finish to it. Nice smooth leather, not too wrinkly, but you do have a nice texture with this leather on it. So you do have Title Boxing. I'll show you that triangle logo. On the palm side, it does say 10 ounces right here, as well as genuine leather. Wrist support wise, you have, I'd say, about almost an inch of wrist support on the back of the wrist. You have a denser EVA style foam on the exterior with a softer foam liner on the inside. You also have the control rounds for these gloves, so round timeline for the gloves. So you have 6 rounds right here, and it's basically, if you were to actually use these gloves, which they are approved for sanctioned fights, there's only so many times that you can use these gloves. And then what basically happens is that that commission, or that, whether, you know, like, for example, like the Nevada State Athletic Commission, what they'll do is they'll mark this off. So by the time these are all marked off, then this glove can no longer be used in service for a fight. So you do have the tag on there. You also have the 10-ounce weight tag on the inside right there. You do have really long flat laces with plastic tips at the end, the gold piping, which looks really clean, the gold offsets that white and red. I'm a big Niners fan, so naturally I had to go with that red, white, and gold. You do have a really nice large grip bar that's nice and firm. It does say authentic across the grip bar, which I think is kind of weird. I don't know why you would put authentic. Like authentic, what does that mean, authentic? Like an authentic Mexican glove? Because that doesn't really make sense, because these gloves aren't made in Mexico, but maybe you're just saying authentic because you want it to be, I guess, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense why you would have authentic on there. Like authentic title product, I mean, I don't know. So that's kind of weird that they would put authentic on the grip bar. Maybe they should have put like the weight, like 10 ounces or title or Boxeo on the grip bar rather than authentic, but I don't know, just my opinion. Anyhow, you do have a really long full length attached thumb right there that goes all the way across, so really nice there. No ventilation on the inner thumb or on the palm as well. So overall, a really sleek, classic looking glove, and I definitely like the look of that coat of arms. The glove is definitely on the compact side. So if you were to get these in 10 ounces or even the 8 ounces, this is definitely more of a compact size fight glove. Quality wise, the gloves on are actually really, really nice. I mean, the leather here looks really clean. The stitch pattern throughout the entire glove is done very well. I mean, and again, you know, a lot of the gloves, if not the majority of gloves that we see out in the market today, regardless of brand, whether it's Title, Rival, Phenom, Ringside, Top Box, I mean, you name it, the list goes on. The vast majority of the gloves that we do see and come across are made in Pakistan. So I feel like, yes, you have a large amount of gloves coming out of Pakistan, but that also means that I feel in a way that they've kind of perfected making gloves, right? And some more than others. You'll run into some Pakistan gloves that are actually absolute crap, and then you'll run into some that are really awesome. So I mean, there's obviously a variance in quality level when you get a glove from there. And the same thing could be said for Chinese gloves. You can get the really cheap stuff, or you can get like the TFM gloves, which are awesome in terms of quality and the materials they use. So there's obviously going to be a range with that. And but the quality on these are really solid. I put them on the scale. Both gloves are identical at weight at 9.8 ounces. So they're pretty much on point with weight, as well as being symmetrical with each other in terms of weight. So both are 9.8. And again, I don't know what the variance is for a fight glove to be on point with weight. I can only imagine it can't be off by too much. And that probably all depends on the sanctioning body who determines the weight allowance. So if these are 10, these are 9.8, they're 0.02 off. So I would assume that that's an acceptable range for whoever is going to be a sanctioning body for these fights in a sanctioned bout. So anyhow, but yeah, overall the quality is very nice. Inner liner, no rips or tears. Everything is clean there. Piping looks really good. You know, no imperfections with the leather. The glove is very well balanced, not too top heavy or bottom heavy, and the distribution of weight is done very nicely. That hinge point where the bottom of the flat cuff meets the back portion of the glove is done very well. But overall, quality on these are solid. Comfort-wise, sliding your hand to the glove, extremely comfortable. That's probably your first thought, is the liner. That polyester satin liner is very smooth, comfortable, and doesn't feel like it gets very hot. It's not like those foamy liners. There's no excess material that bunches up around your fingers or on the back of your hand, nor does it on your thumb. Thumb positioning is perfect. One thing I like about the Mexican style fight gloves, whether it's these, the Promex, Grants, no Boxing, no Life. I mean, there's, so many brands now that have kind of that same model of fight glove, is just that oversized thumb, and it's very comfortable. You have a really nice long piece of piping on here, so that part of your thumb doesn't get the circulation cut off, so it's breathable in that regard and comfortable. And you have a nice thick piece of soft foam on the back of your thumb, about 1 inch thick. That's very nice, soft and comfortable. And just the position of it has a nice parallel thumb, and it's not too turned in, nor when I make a fist does it pull down on the tip too much where my thumb jams. So a perfect thumb right there. With the foam composition and the horsehair, the gloves, when I first got them, were already pretty much completely broken in. These are extremely soft, and both gloves, you have zero problems with opening and closing your hands to catch and parry shots. And you'll find that's mostly the case for a lot of fight gloves. They're already broken in. They're not meant to be used as a training glove which you can because that's what I use them for. But they're typically already soft and broken in that way. Once the first round starts and they start fighting, they can open and catch shots and deflect punches and parry. So you can see that the opening and closing with the actual broken in feel is really good. The drawback I do feel is that the finger compartment is a little on the narrow side. So, I have average size hands. These are the 10-ounce version, so this is the largest they offer for their Pro Fight glove. The other size would be 8 ounces, which essentially are going to be smaller than these. The issue I have is the depth of the finger compartment is good, but the width, I can definitely foresee someone that has bigger hands, thicker fingers, being a little uncomfortable or kind of being crowded where my 4 fingers sit because of the finger compartment. So I wish it was a little bit wider in the finger pocket. And you also notice that the wrist support, to me, is too wide. It's almost like I feel like this should have been a trade-off. I feel like the wrist support and this cuff, even when I tighten it down, there's still a bit of a space. Maybe like 1 finger can fit through there. And I wish this would sit more flush around my wrist and forearm, where the top portion of the glove is a little bit on the smaller side. So I feel like the hand compartment, or should I say the finger compartment, should be a little bit wider, and the wrist support right down here should be a little bit more narrow. If they could switch the two, then that would be perfect. So that's my only complaint in terms of the comfort of the gloves. Everything else about the glove is very comfortable. Protection and performance wise, again, this is a puncher style glove. Now they do implement layers, or should I say 5 layers of foam padding. So your initial thought when you land with this glove is it has that nice flat punch surface. You do have that horsehair integrated into this. And the more you compress down into the foam, you can see that it denses up or hardens up a decent amount. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is not going to compare to a glove that uses more of a densely filled type foam, where there's EVA or latex or something just that's harder to compress down. This by any measure is a puncher style glove. So if you were to use this in your training, hitting a heavy bag that's a little bit harder, you're definitely going to feel the shock of that punch go through with this glove. So that's just something that you should keep in mind if you decide to get these. But for that nice visceral feeling, that crack that a lot of us like to feel, perfect for the mitts. So if you were to use this with your coach and hit the mitts, you'll get a very satisfying feeling of landing your punches, and you'll feel every shot. So love these on the mitts. Work really good on more of the medium to softly filled heavy bags, because then you can really dig your shots and not feel apprehensive that you might injure yourself. So I would limit it to like some softer, medium filled heavy bags. Nothing too rock solid, because you can definitely do some damage to your hands, especially if you're training several rounds with these gloves on. But this is where we really excel with mitts, the paddles, foam noodles, to use those for your training. These really work well for that. But for a Pro Fight glove, this is definitely one of those gloves that you get because you want to inflict a lot of damage. So definitely more on the puncher side when it comes to these gloves. Cost-wise, these gloves retail at $149.99. So if we round up, just 150 bucks. Tidal always has a 20% off if you sign up for their newsletter, so you can already chop some savings off of that. I definitely think it's a solid glove for the price. I would never pay full price in my opinion, just because of the sale either the sales they have throughout the year or the discount code. So make sure you get these on discount. But even at full price, I think they're a solid glove. Full genuine leather, very comfortable puncher style Mexican glove with layered foam, combination of horsehair. It does have kind of that classic Tidal look, so I don't feel like it's overly done in terms of the aesthetics of the glove. So if you like more of that classic look, and of course if you have that Mexican coat of arms for that heritage, I definitely love the way that looks too. I think that looks really clean as well. But overall, a very solid glove, and a glove from Tidal that I feel represents, in my opinion, what the brand is about in terms of the type of products they have. I feel like they should gear more towards making gloves that are horsehair, that are a little bit more of that old school feel, rather than the gloves that have way too much padding and have all this technology built into it, and you have all these crazy designs. I feel like something classic like this is what really resonates with a lot of people in boxing, at least in my opinion. At least it does for me as well. So overall, a very solid glove. So if you guys have any questions or comments, you guys know what to do. Put them down below. I will put the link in the description box where you can find these Title Boxeo Pro Fight gloves. See you guys later. Peace.